Broadcasting live from Dar es Salaam, this is TBC News, our top stories. Morogoro industries to be revived. Zanzibar to continue good relations with UK and Qatar.
The problem is not going away.
Yeah.
It will always be there. So we need to make sure that we have the appropriate capacity to fight against this.
Good evening. I am Teddy Imparanyanga. You can also follow us live via YouTube channel TBConline and also get all the latest news through Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBConline. President Samia Suluhu Hassan has laid a foundation stone for the Serengeti cigarette factory in Morogoro region, which is expected to employ 5,000 workers with the capacity to produce 28 tons per hour. President Samia, who has concluded her working visit in Morogoro, also launched a cross-laboratory at Sokoine University of Agriculture, SUA. Here are more details with Kanke Magomole.
President Samia Suluhu Hassan says her government is determined to restore the Morogoro region in its history as an industrial region in the country by reviving all the dead industries, including the Mangula spare parts factory located in Kilombero district. Addressing people at the Jamhuri Stadium, President Samia stressed the presence of such industries will stimulate employment opportunities for Tanzanians.
Viwanda vilivyopo havifi.
Existing industries should not die, and those that are dead should be revived to produce other things and continue to work. We are doing this to create jobs for our youth, but also to promote the economy in Morogoro region.
Furthermore, the Minister in the President's Office, Regional Administration and Local Government, Mohamed Mchengera, the Minister of Water, Juma Weso, and the Minister of Agriculture, Hussein Bashe, shared their views on how various challenges shall be solved in the region.
You ordered the ministry in the President's Office, Regional Administration and Local Government to be funded with 10.8 billion shillings here in Morogoro, which is going to build the Kihonda bus station, as well as addition 28 billion shillings, which is going to build and repair infrastructure.
Madam President, the Ministry of Water has been funded with more than 90 billion from the government. We have 64 projects so far. I want to assure you that by 2025, water will be available in every area.
Madam President, you promised the people of Morogoro to revive the tobacco factory, and now you have laid a foundation stone of which it shall provide employment to the people.
President of Zanzibar and Chairman of Revolutionary Council, Dr. Hussein Mwinyi, says that Zanzibar will continue good relations with the United Kingdom, thanking it for assistance it has continued to offer in development of different projects. President Mwinyi was speaking with United Kingdom's ambassador to Tanzania, David Conker, whose term of office in the country has come to an end.
We have seen huge changes of our cooperation between UK and Zanzibar. So I think I came in at the right time. Yeah. And I think the decision to formulate government of national unity made a huge difference from all development partners' perspective. Yeah. And during these 4 years, we've had a lot of support from different partners. Specifically from UK, the areas that we have mentioned, we are highly appreciative of the good work that has been done by building the capacity. Yeah, and that's very important because we want it to be sustainable. Yeah. Now, the investment that has been put in there in terms of financial resources and human resources is appreciated, and we hope that this will continue to make our these departments, DPP, but also the police force and they all have to build that capacity to be able to do their work properly, because the problem is not going away. It will always be there. So we need to make sure that we have the appropriate capacity to fight against this.
On his part, Ambassador Konka says that he is impressed by development reach in Zanzibar.
The issue of cooperation on transnational crime, organized crime. And we have worked hard with your officials and the Zanzibar Director of Public Prosecutions in particular on that issue. And I will tomorrow morning go to visit the Transnational Organised Crime Unit, which is being supported by UK, along with one or two other development partners.
In another development, President Mwinyi has met with Qatar Ambassador to Tanzania, Fahad Rashid, who went to deliver a message from the King of Qatar. And on to the next news. Stakeholders in the clean cooking energy in the country have requested the government to reduce taxes and, if possible, eliminate value-added tax, VAT, on clean energy-related equipment so as to help people, especially those who are less fortunate, afford the technologies and avoid using firewood and charcoal. The stakeholders were speaking in Dar es Salaam at the policy dialogue organized by the United Nations Capital Development Fund, UNCDF, on clean cooking energy, with the topic of tax impact on the acceleration of national clean cooking strategy. Here are more details.
Stakeholders of clean cooking energy at the policy dialogue organized by the United Nations Capital Development Fund, UNCDF, in Dar es Salaam, with the topic of tax impact on the acceleration of national clean cooking strategy. Speaking at the meeting, stakeholders request for tax reviews on taxes.
Again, when it comes to stoves, you have VAT at 18%, there's no exemption. And then when it comes to import duty, stoves that use gas fuel are taxed at 10%. Those that use liquid fuel are taxed at 25%. And then generally, other stoves will attract tax of 10%.
But we're measuring rural electrification by the number of villages that have access to electricity, not the villages that use electricity. So if there is a pole somewhere in the village where someone can connect to electricity, then that's considered a village that has access to electricity.
UNCDF and other players concentrate on the carbon credit financing. There is a big challenge for individuals to access such a facility. They are giving so much attention on their financing the projects and what have you.
On the side of international clean cooking energy, stakeholders, they say, providing tax exemption in the clean cooking appliances will ensure the availability and affordability of the clean cooking equipment around the country.
30.6% of this total cost is taxes. You have 10% import duty. You have the 2% railway development levy. You have 0.6% customs processing fee, and then you have the VAT of 18%. Now we're providing a subsidy. We expect to reduce the price of the electric pressure cooker electric stove.
However, in Nepal, with the same goals to make electric cooking more affordable, Nepal has reduced its import tax from 10% to 1%.
The government really needs to create the enabling environment that will enable now private sector to move the way they've done for LPG sector.
Speaking in the dialogue, Assistant Commissioner for Policy Analysis at the Ministry of Finance, Dr. Remedios Ruhinduka, says that the government is committed to achieving the 2034 goal, and they already have strategic plans to reduce the cost of clean energy technology by 2026.
By
95% of the charcoal that is produced and used in the country is untaxed. And this causes an unfriendly competition from the briquettes, pellets, which are sold in the formal market systems and are taxed. So if we tax charcoal, we can bring a fair competition between the two, and we hope that this alternative charcoal would also penetrate further.
This year, the government has launched a 10-year clean cooking strategic plan where until the year 2034, through the plan, 80% of Tanzanians will be using clean cooking energy. Antonia Kivaria, TBC News.
The Deputy Minister of Works, Engineer Godfrey Kasekenya, has urged contractors in the country to use guarantees given by banks to complete in bidding for large projects in the country, which are frequently taken by foreign contractors due to challenges of capital and technology. Speaking in Dar es Salaam during the launch of NMB Improved Bank Services for Contractors, Kasekenya says that the government's intention is to see local contractors engage in economic work, saying that President Samia has given specific directives for local contractors to be given priority in the tenders that are announced.
Hili ni jambo jema na kubwa kwa sekta yetu ya ujenzi.
This is a good thing in the construction sector. We believe that these improvements will facilitate the implementation of various government projects.
On his part, the Chief Officer for Private Customers at NMB Bank, Philbert Mponzi, said that the improvements will enable contractors to secure loans of up to 5 billion shillings.
Tulikuwa tunatoa bid bond kwa mfano ambayo ni unsecured.
We have grown to issue big bonds which are unsecured, that is without collateral. We increased bonds from 2.5 billion up to 5 billion, which are big bonds without any collateral.
And on to the next news. Mbeya District Commissioner Beno Malisa says that Mbeya District is ready to receive investors who want to invest in that region and provide innovative services in communication sector that will improve agriculture. Malisa made the remarks while launching monetary services provided by 2 institutions at the ongoing agriculture exhibitions.
Tawafikia wengi kama ambavyo mtandao wenu ulivyo mkubwa nchini.
It will reach many people and help them in the issue of financial chain in the Southern Highlands.
Speaking at the event in Mbeya, manager of Tanzania Post Office Southern Zone, Michael Monachuro, says services provided by the 2 organizations will improve services to the people.
It has the ability to deliver services to ordinary citizens. The Post organization has offices almost all over the country, and it has become easier to reach even those who are in interior places.
Sweden ambassador to Tanzania, Charlotte Marquez, says that her country is impressed by journalists' work in the country of informing and educating the society. Speaking in Arusha after visiting offices of Journalists Association, Charlotte says the good reportage and good performance of projects they finance encourages them to continue sponsoring various projects in the country.
And I would say I'm deeply impressed by the work UTPC and the press clubs are doing. From a Swedish perspective, journalists are key factors in the development of a country. So to see how well, for example, the Arusha Press Club is doing, with so many journalists being part of the club, and with the support of UTPC, taking part of trainings, education, competence building, I think that will really support the vibrant society that Tanzania is already being. We rarely think about return of investments, but I know that the support and the cooperation we have with UTPC and the press clubs is so worthwhile.
Now moving on to a touristic piece. Horses have attracted men's fascination for centuries, mostly because of their appearance, resilience, their closeness to humans, that many activities that the creatures perform. Faida Ngaga has prepared the following feature about this majestic animal.
In the vast tapestry of the animal kingdom, Few creatures capture our imagination quite like the zebra. With their striking black and white stripes, they are the symbol of beauty and mystery of the African plains. Yet, across the globe, another creature roams the land with a similar majesty and allure. The horse. Despite their differences in appearance, horses and zebras are connected by a common ancestry, a bond that transcends continents and spans millennia. They are called the equines, meaning that they are mammals belonging to the taxonomic family Equidae, which also includes donkeys. They are known for their hooves, manes, and tails, as well as their herbivorous diet and social behaviors. Horses in their various forms have played pivotal roles in human history. They've carried warriors into battle, plowed fields to feed nations, and inspired artists and poets alike with their grace and strength.
And before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now have a look on today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news. And here is international news as compiled by Lulu Mohammed and read by Kanki Magomola.
The parliament in Bangladesh has been dissolved as one of the demands of the protesters who caused the resignation of the country's Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and fled to India. The protesters have also opened the military regime, claiming that the regime they want is the one that will be proposed by the people. The army chief of Bangladesh has announced the formation of a coalition government and emphasized that the country will run in peace and stability. A few hours after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina resigned, the President of Bangladesh, Mohamed Shahabuddin, ordered the release of the former Prime Minister of the country, Khaleda Zia, who was imprisoned. The President's press team said in a statement on Monday that a meeting led by Shahabuddin had decided unanimously to free Bangladesh Nationalist Party chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia immediately. Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, has announced the Minnesota governor is her running mate. Who is 60 years old, is a second-term governor. He served in the Minnesota National Guard and worked as a public school teacher for 2 decades. A number of countries have issued travel advice to their citizens, warning them to avoid the areas in the United Kingdom where have been recent violent disorder. Among those countries are Australia, Malaysia, India, Nigeria, and Indonesia. Alerts issued after days of escalating violence by far-right demonstrators who have attacked a hotel used to house asylum seekers and foreign business areas, accusing them over a stabbing rampage at a dance class last week in the northwestern town of Southport, which left 3 girls dead and several more injured. The Egyptian Foreign Minister Badir Abdelati, with his Turkish counterpart Hakan Fidan, stated during a joint news conference in Cairo on Monday that their leaders are exploring every possible option to stop Israel's war in Gaza from escalating into a larger regional conflict. The ministers stated that they also talked about strategies to alleviate tensions in the region, particularly those arising from the Israeli-Hamas conflict. Badir Abdelati, Egypt's foreign minister, voiced his strong disapproval of assassination tactics, breaches of other countries' sovereignty, and the intensification of regional strife. He underscored the critical need for collective action to stop this perilous escalation and to keep the situation from escalating into a full-blown regional war. They talked about the crisis in Gaza, the conditions in Libya and Sudan, the unrest in the Red Sea, and the problems in Yemen.
That was international news. Sports news up next. And in sports news, Star Times marketing director David Malisa says they have planned to provide entertainment to football fans by offering discounts on the price of packages on their phones so that all citizens have a chance to witness international football competitions in the coming season 2024. Speaking in Dar es Salaam, Malisa revealed that the plan is to show the 5 best soccer leagues in the world and that Tanzanian fans should be ready to get a glimpse of soccer entertainment.
We have not raised our prices. We have focused on the real life of Tanzanians. We have given everyone the opportunity to see soccer, and the best 5 league in the continent will be shown.
Kubwa sasa unazipata ndani ya Star Times kwa lugha ya Kiswahili kwa mfumo wa HD.
Various soccer leagues around the world are expecting to kick off soon, and already soccer stakeholders are excited about commercial opportunities by investing in soccer. And in other sports news, Oyster Bay Rotary Club President Himanshu Bhat says they're expecting to raise 400 million shillings through the goat races that will be held at the Horse Stadium in Dar es Salaam, well known as Viwanja vya Farasi, on September 7th. Speaking in Dar es Salaam, Bhat added that the fund will raise funds through goat race, which will be used to give scholarships to students who can't afford to pay for themselves, while the race organizer, Paul Muhato, says the race will involve 10 teams of goats will compete to run from a distance of 200 meters.
Every year we would support more than 70 or 80 on an average students. So this year, from the funds that we raise from the goat races, as we're going to have it on 7th September 2024, we would be able to support more than 100 Tanzanian students to complete or to progress in their undergrad courses.
Are treated with a lot of care. There's a veterinary who comes, brings them. They are carried all the way to the racing area. Not the same goat will race all 10 races. There are different goats for the different races. We give them time to rest. They are given grass. These are goats in a VIP section, let us put it that way. They are looked at before the race, they are looked at during the race, and they are looked at after the races. And just to clarify, the goats goats do not go to Nyamachoma Festival after the races. They are taken back to another location where they can continue their lives until the next event that may decide whether they continue living or not. But at this particular point, for us at the goat races, we use that opportunity to bring families together, to have a fun time, to bet on the goats winning.
What really moved us to support the Rotary Club of Oyster Bay once again is because they are very much aligned with our mission of connecting for good, where through our own initiatives as Vodacom, we do different things around areas of education, health, and economic empowerment. And particularly with the goat races, their mission is really around education, and where the funds that are raised through the goat races go to scholarships of underprivileged students, but as well as improving learning environments. Having seen the success from last year, where over 300 million shillings were raised, and hearing from the testimonials of the beneficiaries, we were really moved to come again this year to support them.
The goat race is organized by Vodacom Tanzania in collaboration with Oyster Bay Rotary Club and is expected to attract over 4,000 fans. And that was sports news. Now, before we conclude the news bulletin for tonight, let us take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Good evening. Once again, this is 24 hours weather forecast from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. Wind patterns, average wind speed expected over the most part of our country, and slight rainfall signal are touching over the northern coast. For tonight, we expect future particular condition and average cooler condition over the most part of our country, while the lowest minimum temperature expected to be 4 degrees Celsius over Mbeya regions. For tomorrow, we expect future particular condition, rain shower over few rain sun period over Tanga, Unguja, and Pemba ISAs, while Dar es Salaam, together with Pwani region, expect future particular condition, light rain shower over few rain sun period. The rest part of our country expect future particular condition and long sun period. Let's have a look for the 4 days weather forecast for some part of our country, starting from the day after tomorrow. For Dar es Salaam, we expect future particular condition and the highest maximum temperature expect to be 30 degrees Celsius. Dodoma, the lowest minimum temperature expect to be 13 degrees Celsius. Mbeya region, the lowest minimum temperature expect to feature 5 degrees Celsius. While Mwanza, the highest maximum temperature expect to be 31 degrees Celsius. And the Kilimanjaro region expect future particular condition and long sun periods. For Morogoro region, expect future particular condition and long sun periods. Arusha, the lowest minimum temperature expect to be 11 degrees Celsius. Dear viewer, we thank you for watching and have a good night.
And that marks the end of our news bulletin for tonight. Do not miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Teddy Mparanyanga. Have a lovely, lovely night.
Kalia TBC1, ukweli na uhakika.